perfect.
Who better than Derek, Pat, Andrew, the wrestling crew? Man, they bout to put an end to y'all careers like a finishing move. They bout to give y'all facts on these cats that's fighting on these mats. Y'all can't see them like John Cena. Even if y'all had 20/20 vision, y'all better listen, pay attention, and take notes down and realize that it's not your time now. And watch these three kings take the crown. Hey, hey.
This is the real bro TJ Blade.
And the one fit wonder, Mike Seaway.
And we are the Bro Team Pack, and you're listening to Wrestling IQ 101.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of WIQ 101. I'm Andrew, alongside Derek.
You
can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And today our special guest is Monsta Mack. How's it going, man?
I'm good. I feel like I'm your father and you guys are my sons. And all is right with the world because you guys are doing good. So
Nice. I was going to call you Uncle Mac.
Well, see, that works too. A lot of people, Uncle Steve works all throughout the building.
I might get more passes if I say you're my dad, though. I think I'm going to start going with that. Yeah, you know my dad, Monsta Mack?
Yeah. Tony T, man, from More.
Oh, man.
We went to the Maury show. And it was like this guy, he claimed that he couldn't get this girl pregnant because he had super sperm.
Okay.
And his name was Tony T. He was hilarious. He's like, he only got it with the woman once, so he couldn't be the father. That's awesome. So yeah, we had a good time with Maury. We had
I don't know why we was there, but we just
what kills me?
Went there. We just went.
I love whether it's white trash, Hispanic, black, whatever it is. They all say the same thing. Listen, Murray, it's Maury. Yeah. It's not Murray. Yeah, but they all do it. Murray, Murray, what he did to me, Murray. I'm like, oh, come on, son.
Well, that escalated quickly, but
seriously, right? Left turn. It was like, oh.
But down to business. February 24th, the Rahway Rec Center. Doors open at 6:30 for JAP Redemption. I mean, let's talk about this, man. This is a big show off the heels of JAP Uprising. I mean, where do we start?
Well, I just wanted to say I was very proud of everyone's effort that they put into JAP Uprising. Mm-hmm. It was by far one of the best shows that Jersey All Pro Wrestling ever put out. It sucked that the attendance was rough that day, but, when we look down at the logistics of everything, it wasn't for lack of advertising. It wasn't for lack of promotion or lack of talent. Mm-hmm. Just there was too much going on in the market at the same time. It had something like 12 shows within a 100-mile radius. Oh, man. And that's going to spread everybody thin. Yeah. Thankfully, this show, there's only, I believe, 4 shows. Okay. One in Atlantic City, one SWF, they're running where Totowa, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Psycho Circus, NYWC, which is their biggest show. It's their WrestleMania. Yeah. And, if I wasn't going to JAP, I'd be going to Psycho Circus, honestly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I'm looking at we should have a larger attendance based off less shows and less stuff to do. Will that happen? Who knows? I mean, we're still giving it all out assault as far as promotions and advertising and just trying to get everyone interested in this show. I mean, there's so much stuff going on that it's like, damn, this seems like it's going to be a really good show too. You know what I mean? So.
And last show was historic. You crowned a women's champion. I mean, the last show was awesome as hell. I mean, as a fan, just being like, it had a little bit of a new school feel to it. JP like you wanted to have, and then there was some nostalgic moments with Homicide coming out. So I mean, all around, hit on all cylinders of what a JP show reminded me of as growing up. So that was awesome for me.
I mean, you can pick up the DVD at High Spots, the Blu-ray and DVD. I've watched this show probably about 4 times complete, nice. And I really didn't have a problem with anything that happened that night. Obviously, best match to me, it could be a toss-up. It could be Keith Lee versus Black Cheese because that match was insane. Yeah. Julius Smokes adding to that, level of just what the hell is going on? I don't know. And then when you finally find out why he's there, you're like, oh, that's pretty dope. Yeah. And then you have Jonathan Gresham and Arcadia, which was, I mean, I've been praising Arcadia for a very long time. And Jonathan Gresham, the last year or so, anytime I see him doing anything, I help promote him with it because I know what kind of talent he is. He's a great talent and a great person.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But the match they had was ridiculously incredible. Arcadia was pushed to his limit, and you saw a little bit more of a serious Arcadia, which is what I've been wanting to see. Because I really believe in Arcadia. I believe he's somebody that, you might look at him and you might see either he looks like a pro wrestler or you might see somebody that doesn't look like a pro wrestler. Yeah. It really depends on what your definition of wrestling is. Yeah. I see him as a pro wrestler, and I see him pushing it and taking it to the next level every time he's in there with guys that are better. And with Jonathan Gresham is just so smooth and fluent and he is an artist. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when they say pro wrestlers art, that's Jonathan Gresham. He paints on that canvas.
Absolutely.
And you just see beauty coming out, And then the other match that really, it's the match that I knew it was going to be the home run was Kyle the Beast and Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Let's put it this way. We were just saying, Kyle the Beast got a job with Evolve because he showed Gabe this match with Riddle. That's how awesome this match was.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, I don't even think it was as great as some people were saying. It was a great match, but I think they could have even done more. Yeah. Like, I want to see the rematch between Riddle and Kyle to see how much further they push each other.
Yeah, book it, man.
I'm trying. That Riddle, he's a very busy, busy boy.
But man, also, to me, the women's match.
Yes!
Penelope Ford, Kate, these women, they went
nuts.
It was awesome. Nuts. The whole card, man. I knew I was in for a treat when Private Party came out and Coast to Coast. They started off the show with a bang. The worldwide tapings, too. The whole thing from start to finish.
If there was only one thing that would change, it would have been the length of the worldwide tapings. Yeah. I would have shortened them up a little bit. But, everybody was just there. It was one of those things that you really couldn't cut the flow. You had to let it breathe.
Yeah.
And because everything went the way it did, everything flowed in a weird sort of way. You know what I mean? Elgin and Schlack.
Awesome match.
Like, that match, I had fun watching that match, But, like you said, the girls, once they went outside, that was the only match that went outside. I don't know if anybody noticed that. But that's the only match that went outside. Everybody else kept it in the ring. Maybe they did a dive to the floor, but they went right back. The girls went crazy. That was because of the JP title. And then we got the number 3 women's champion of all time in LuFisto, one of the baddest chicks in any locker room period.
What a development from the Diamond division all the way till now. You talk about all the women that have come through there, almost like WWE, Evolution. In WWE, TNA already had that before.
If we're really going to be taking credit, Sarah Del Rey was our champion first.
Absolutely.
And Kimberly was our champion, and it's definitely something where we're very proud of the talent that's come through, and in a time where it's real easy, because I've seen a lot of girls go out there and they are so hyped up and they want to do so good, and then they slip on a banana peel one time and it derails the whole thing.
Yeah.
And these girls, the 4 that were in there, Katrid, LuFisto, I can't think of Penelope Ford, and Gabriella. The 4 girls just went all out.
Yeah.
And whether they missed a spot or they hit it, they went all out, missing a spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't. There's just certain things that you see when you're green, you miss whatever it is whatever's supposed to do, and you're like, I don't know what to do. This didn't happen with these girls. They just blasted each other in the face. There's that one sequence between LuFisto and Katrid where they're slapping the hell out of each other. And LuFisto slaps the hell out of Katrid. And Katrid was about to respond right away, but then it registered. It was like, you could see it. She's like, oh, damn. This hurt a lot. Why you hit me so hard in the face?
Now, when you first came, I remember you told us kind of like what your formula was and what you were kind of like not trying to drill everybody with shows like monthly and just, put them out every couple of months. And I think you can see you've been making it special for people. Mm-hmm. So you kind of been making it like these past couple shows have been like must see shows. Like people, they should be coming out to them, even though last attendance wasn't that good. But still. You've been putting together some great matches on all these cards, and then even looking at this card that's coming up, you got some good stuff that's coming on there too that people need to see.
You're saying that, and the first thing that pops in my head, I don't know why, is Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Jigsaw's on this show, Redemption, coming up.
Uh-huh.
When was the last time you saw Jigsaw?
Yeah.
However, Jigsaw still wrestles in Europe. He's almost exclusive to Europe. You know what I mean? He's always been a great wrestler. There's never been a match. I wrestled him once. We had a great match. You know what I mean? At a time where I thought I was kind of sloppy and out of shape, and he pulled a great match out of me. You know what I mean? So I remember stuff like that, and I'm always going to be like, well, you know what? What's he been doing? Let me see what's up. Yeah. Because people will remember. I mean, you got the Chikara fan base. Chikara is a totally different company now than it was 10 years ago when Jigsaw was there and running things. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure a lot of those fans are going to be like, oh, Jigsaw's, that's cool. Let's go see Jigsaw. What he's doing. He's going to be in there with someone who is a JAP regular in Steve Scott. Yep. And you have Anthony Bennett, who just won the best of the light heavyweights, and he made some noise last year with the cruiserweight tournament. So, it's going to be a test for Jigsaw and everybody involved. So I'm trying to find competitive stuff, too, with guys that you haven't heard of in a while or haven't seen. You know what I mean? Trying to mix it up.
It's also a new Steve Scott. Last time we were there, he came out he with a new attitude. He's performing.
He got my face.
Yeah, he did.
What was he thinking?
I don't know. He had a death with or something.
Because in reality, I mean,
you could have dropped him there.
I've always liked Steve Scott. I mean, I've always thought he was a great talent.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of ideas. He's a visionary person.
Yeah.
Maybe a little misguided. I know the thing with the guy in WWE doing the selfie gimmick kind of threw him off track. Yeah, Tyler Breeze threw him off track. But no matter what, he always was great in the ring.
Yeah.
But the couple of times that we've wrestled, he lost his hearing. He caught a concussion. He was out for a few months. And I wasn't trying to hurt him at all. You know what I mean? Just he pushed it. We went to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now when he's trying to piss me off, what do you think is going to happen if I get in the ring with Steve Scott?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and it was crazy, man, because at Synergy, a place you'll be debuting soon, he got in the ring with Vern Vicale, the selfie-made man.
Okay.
And he escaped. I mean, they had a thing where if he lost, one of those guys would have to lose their data plan for 30 days. I'm like, how could one of these guys go without their data plan for 30 days? I mean,
that's awesome.
But that is all. I mean, you touched it too on the head with Anthony Bennett coming off the Cruiserweight Classic, coming off a huge win against guys like Homicide and some of the best.
I'll be honest, that wasn't the guy who I was picking to win. With all the guys in that best of light heavyweights last year.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't picking him to win.
And then it's interesting. Out of all the matches you put together between Anthony Bennett, Jigsaw, and Steve Scott, like that was by far my favorite match that I want to see.
Yeah,
I looked at every match, and I love Arcadia. I'm an Arcadia mark, but
I'll just tell you, Arcadia and Desmond, we'll get on that in a few. But
that match right there, I was like,
out there watching.
I was just thinking like that's gonna be a sick match.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, you look at what it is. It's past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Jigsaw's the past, even though he's still great.
Yeah.
But technically, he's the past.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Scott is the present.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's making his return, so he's got a lot at stake here. And then Anthony Bennett, he's got a guaranteed shot at Arcadia.
Yeah.
And then he's also got a lot on the line because he was somebody. He did the one round of the Cruiserweight Classic. You know what I mean? And then he got eliminated, so they really didn't see much. So why was he given a chance to do that when there's so many other light heavyweights that are great in the area?
Yeah.
Why was this kid given an opportunity? It's because the kid works hard. I mean, if you follow him on Instagram...
Always working out.
Always working out.
Or
he's one of the most cut-up dudes I've ever seen. He's only 19, 20.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, he's just jacked up, and he loves working out. He loves that passion, dedication. He has that deep in his heart. And, why not? Why not? They're all going to learn from each other. Yeah. And this is going to be a match, like you said. It's going to be one that you're going to want to watch because you don't know what's going to happen.
What I thought was interesting was Colin West. He put out that video about people that Arcadia has beaten and the people that Anthony Bennett has defeated. And I thought that was pretty telling that the mindset of Colin West and Arcadia going into this match, watching this match from afar, they know they have Anthony Bennett on the horizon, but he's not. He hasn't proven himself at JAPW. Yep. I mean, one match.
But see, what does it say about Anthony Bennett though that he agrees to take the match after he put the challenge out there?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He could have easily said, "No, I want to wrestle Arcadia for the title next show."
Because when we talked to him, he was hungry for that opportunity.
Of course, he's a very hungry individual. He's one of those cats that, whether you like him or you hate him, he's always going to be doing something big because he has that desire and determination. So, you know, when I look at him, I see a young Low-Key, a young Homicide, you know, someone that isn't given much, but makes the most out of what he's given. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, you got to, with guys like that, you just got to make sure that, you know, they're always given challenges. And, you know, like you said, on the horizon is going to be Ant Bennett eventually. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of when. But, you know, Arcadia and Colin West, they're not dumb either. Yeah. They don't know much about him. They want to see what he can do. Yeah. You know, there's not... Well, how much footage is there of Anthony Bennett out there?
Yeah, there's got him. It's not a bad play.
And there's got to be something that they at least think is special about him if they're going to go out their way to put a video out about him.
You know what makes it special? Look who he beat in the best of light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Homicide alone, how many people have wins over Homicide and JAP? Not that many.
Well, can live to tell about it.
Exactly. Exactly. Bro, he was, I mean, just on the phone with Homicide, he was telling me at House of Glory he wrestled Evander James, right?
Yeah.
Evander James, the finish came out a little messed up, but Evander James won, right? Yeah. Homicide said, "Oh, that's nice. I gave him the cop killer right there on his head." You know what I'm saying? So
I was a Game Changer. Him and Teddy Hart are still killing each other. I'm like, this is one of the greatest things.
I think that and the feud with Steve Carino is never going to die for Homicide.
But I was so disappointed. I mean, it was partially disappointed because Teddy Hart Homicide didn't happen at Game Changer. But they put Brandon Kirk in. Awesome. He's awesome, Brandon Kirk.
I like Brandon Kirk. That's who I have at Synergy coming up in March, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, March.
I know my dates, I think. I like Brandon Kirk. I've wrestled him as part of a tag team. And to be honest, I didn't see much in him when we were doing the tag team thing. Yeah. But that was also 4 or 5 years ago. In that time, I've seen him go to Beyond, go to Combat Zone. Brandon Kirk is somebody that is really talented, another hungry individual who's making things happen. He's not waiting for an opportunity. Yeah. He's absolutely taking whatever he can.
He's a nut, too.
Yeah.
Synergy, man, when your song came up, I was like, oh, shit, things just got real. But on Synergy, man, you know, you let Arcadia defend the Jersey All-Pro Championship, the prestigious light heavyweight championship, on foreign territory, you know, against Drake Chambers, Dragonborn. You know, he didn't seem, you know, he wanted to do it, Arcadia, when I spoke to him. He was very passionate that, you know, he wanted to come out and prove that why he's the champion of JP.
Yep.
I mean, what went through your mind letting, you know, this title match happen? Because it could have changed the outcome if Jake Chambers won. He could have been facing, you know, Desmond Xavier.
It could have. However, I know Drake Chambers. Mm-hmm. I mean, since he was like 17, give or take, we've been doing UWA Elite together. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen him recently, but I do know that he's gotten way better. Mm-hmm. He's somebody that's making a little bit of a buzz for himself right now between On Point and Synergy and places like that. And the one thing that I always stress, JP will always be about opportunity. Mm-hmm. What better opportunity for you to wrestle for a place that's more your home fed, Synergy, let's just say, right? Mm-hmm. And On Point. What better way to get an opportunity to wrestle for one of the premier companies in New Jersey and on the East Coast, Jersey All-Pro? Your first shot, you get a shot at the champ. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that's, if he wins, it's the Rocky story. You know? Yeah. And what better way to bring in somebody new than with a Rocky story? Yeah. If he loses, at least he, you know, if he goes all out, he'll get another shot. I have no problem bringing him in. I have no problem suggesting to the booking committee, hey, look, this kid is real good. He had an awesome match with Arcadia. Let's do this. You know what I mean? It's all about opportunity because, again, when Fat Frank started this company, he took a bunch of guys. He could have taken guys like Reckless Youth and Ace Darling and Devin Storm and used them as full-time guys like IWF. But instead, he took guys like Homicide and Dom Montoya, Chino Martinez. He took those guys and made something by giving them opportunity. And they all ran with the ball and did something with it. You know, I would rather have a team of those guys than a bunch of guys that already are established somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, because of the area that we live in, it's kind of hard to do, you know, exclusive guys. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you know, I've got a guy like TJ Marconi, who's a star in every company. He's a champion in SWF and other places.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't get enough burn.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a guy that's very overlooked. Why? He's 6'6", almost 300 pounds, and he moves like a light heavyweight. We saw it with Kyle the Beast.
Yeah. And
We saw it with Joe Gacy.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? He moves like a light heavy. It shouldn't be. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of guys are you're too big to moving like that. You don't need to move like that. But he does. Yeah. And then he hits like a hammer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how many of those shots we thought Kyle was knocked out during that worldwide set?
I thought the ring was going to fall apart.
Because he's killing Kyle with that boot, too.
Yeah.
Like, I lost my mind with the boot. You know what I mean? But he's somebody that, for whatever reason, nobody's really taking too serious outside of SWF. But he needs a bigger platform to be seen as somebody who can take a company and put it on his shoulders. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of the things that JP is great at. You know, Jay Lethal, nobody knew who Jay Lethal was. Oh, yeah. He was just some kid from Elizabeth. Came down, had a nice look. He became a superstar all over the world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Started at JP. You know what I mean? Even with like Dan Moff. Dan Moff was a nobody. He was a fan. He was a fan for Homicide, Montoya. I want to say he was a fan for me, but he just happened to be in the crowd on the Russell. But, you know, and look at all the stuff Dan Moff's done. Yeah. You know? So that's what JP does.
So, all right, let's talk about your actual heavyweight champion now, Black G's. So I see he's going to be appearing. So will he be wrestling? What do we expect from him?
So we just announced this week that
Open challenge, right?
Yeah, he actually announced it.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I have no reason to lie. First, we tried to get a top indie name. I'll give you a hint. He's a bad boy.
Oh, nice.
He had to cancel off.
Got you.
Then we tried to get another indie name, somebody who's the man. I mean, if you know indies, you can figure out right away who those.
Roman Reigns, of course.
Big dog. Unfortunately, he couldn't because he had another. So it left us in a spot where we're like, geez, if you have any ideas, you let us know. And he's like, you know what? Why don't we just make it a wild card match? All right. So we made it a wild card match. G's made it a wild card match. I'm pretty sure there is somebody that's coming. However, when I last spoke to this person, they were like, well, it's like a 75-25. And I was like,
yeah.
All right, well, I'll have another backup just in case. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if the person does show up, it's going to change a lot of things.
Okay.
People are going to be like, wow, that's pretty dope.
Because I always know with G's, he always feels like he's overlooked. He always, and I know he thinks, and I believe he's a main eventer.
He is.
He should be on every poster.
Look at him.
He should,
How many guys? I mean, I get it. The height thing is hard to overcome when in a business that's filled with 6'2", 6'3" guys on the average.
Yeah. You
got somebody who's 5'7", and even then, I think I'm giving him a little extra. Yeah. But look at how he looks.
Yeah.
He's shredded. He's a marble statue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's got the hood mentality.
Yeah.
He's got J-Train. He's got, he's got all this experience from the last 15 to 20 years of pro wrestling experience. Not just cruiserweight, not just heavyweight, not just brawling. He knows how to do it all.
Yeah. He's like a pit bull.
Yeah, he really is.
Your head off.
He really is. I've wrestled with G's probably about 10 to 20 times. And by far, he's somebody that like you can't just sleep on because when you think that, all right, I got him down, he gets up and kicks you in the face. Yeah. And it's not just like a kick to the face. It hurts. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, that match with Keith Lee, Limitless Keith Lee, I honestly thought we were going to see the rematch at Redemption. I thought maybe that's why you named it Redemption. I thought maybe we were going to see that match, and I thought maybe, maybe he would even the odds out a little bit, Keith Lee, but a way.
I wanted to, and I'll be honest, I did want to.
Yeah.
However, I felt it was too soon.
Okay.
And the only reason why is because I really we're looking to do a show in May.
Mhm.
And if we do, we're looking to load up that lineup big time. Because the way we're looking at it, if we do May, then we're not going to do anything till the end of summer.
Yeah.
Maybe a small show,
Mhm.
but even then, I don't think so. Because JP really doesn't like to do anything small.
Yeah.
That's just it's a vice, I guess. You know what I mean? We either go big or we don't do it at all. But in watching the Keith Lee and Black G's match, there were so many times where I thought Keith Lee had it, but he was distracted.
Yeah.
And it was one of the few times where I saw Keith Lee thrown off his game. And that was because of J-Train. Julius Smokes, no matter if you know him or not, by the end of the night, if he's in the building with you, you're going to know who Julius Smokes is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's somebody that is impossible to miss, no matter what situation you're in.
That is true.
And you can see it there. I mean, I put that picture the next week of Keith Lee sitting on the guardrail with his face like, because of all the stuff G's was doing to him. And dude, when he hit that powerbomb on G's and G's bounced at least 4 feet in the air, I screamed when I first saw it because I didn't watch the match live. I was in the back helping out Katri because she twisted her ankle really bad, and then just doing other stuff in the back. And when I watched it, I screamed and everybody that was around me jumped because it was so insane how high he bounced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as tough as Keith Lee was, G's still has the title.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of glad you hold it because I'm kind of craving that rematch. So it's going to make people more interested in when it comes up. So yeah.
Trust me, if I can, if the opportunity is available, look for May. If not, the anniversary show is also going to happen this year. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. I mean, anything can happen because it's JP. Like I said, we really were trying to get G's two very big name but very different opponents.
Yeah.
And both of them fell through.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was kind of just like, by the time you reach out to Keith Lee, though, he's Keith Lee. He's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's hard to, but it'll happen.
What an incredible match. And I want to touch back on the Arcadia thing, man. Mm-hmm. Desmond Xavier, what a matchup that's going to be. I mean, you talked about it before, Jonathan Grisham pushing Arcadia to his limit, a little bit more serious side. Do you think that the serious side will still be there, and Colin West being a factor in that match?
I think Colin West will push Arcadia to the limit as far as his serious side, simply because when you look at two pictures, one of Arcadia and one of Desmond Xavier, Desmond Xavier looks like a monster. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He looks like an animal when you look at how swollen he is, and just you know what I mean. And when you look at Arcadia just, like I said before, he's a guy. To me, he looks like a wrestler, but I know to a lot of people, he just looks like a nobody. You know what I mean? But we know better. Yeah. We know Arcadia is one of the best in the area. Yeah. I think this is going to be one of those where Desmond Xavier's athleticism can overcome Arcadia's athleticism, but Arcadia's experience and brains are going to be what really dictates the match. Yeah. If you can frustrate your opponent, you can control them and do anything. You won the battle right there and then. And Arcadia is one of the best at doing that. There's a reason why he's held the title and beaten so many people over the last 2 years doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Desmond Xavier, he's coming off a tour of Japan, his first trip. He just went to China this week, or as we're taping this. And he's gaining a lot of ground because he's on Impact Wrestling. And, if you notice, none of the promotions have, this Impact TV star or anything like that. Because why? Why do we need to put it out there? Yeah. These guys are great on their own, whether they're on Impact, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground. People know who these names are, so we don't have to add Impact Star. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They know who Sami Callihan is. They know who Hamza is. They know who Desmond Xavier is. When you see Desmond Xavier do some of the stuff that he does, I've been in the ring with Desmond. He's a great talent. Yeah, very absolutely. Bright, ambitious young man. Very hungry, like I mean, that's going to be the theme. It really should have been Hunger, the name of the show. But, he's somebody that he's got a lot. As great as he is, he wants to prove a lot to people. I mean, look at his crew. He hangs out with Ricochet. He hangs out with his partner, Zachary Wentz. He hangs out with Sami Callihan, OVE. He hangs out with them. When you're in, and it's the same thing with us and the Hit Squad and Homicide and Moff and Key.
Yeah.
When you're in with a bunch of killers, you want to be the best killer.
Yeah.
That's what Desmond Xavier is right now. He wants to be the best. And then you bring up Colin West. J-Train threw Keith Lee off his game.
Yeah.
Colin West is the most annoying. I can't even. I want to be mad at him, but I can't because I'm just like, he's so good at what he does when he's annoying. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like.
Pink jacket, right?
Yes! How bright was that pink effing jacket? You know what I mean? So, when I see Colin West go out there, that's going to throw Desmond off.
Yeah.
It's up to Desmond on how good he rebounds. Desmond's a smart kid. I don't think it'll distract him as much, but all it takes is one distraction and you're 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that can happen in this match. I think a lot of people are going to say Desmond's going to be the new champ. For me, I'm going to go with Arcadia. Because I'll take experience over youth any day, but that's just me because I'm an old man. What do I know?
I'll take Arcadia too. Just like I'll take Black G's too. I told you that too when Black G's fought Keith Lee.
Yeah,
I said I'll never bet against Black G's.
I'm gonna be impartial here, So
well, I mean, we are picking winners and losers.
I think the Renee Young route. just ask the questions and don't give an answer.
Don't give a real answer. Just keep it moving.
Right.
Smile and keep it moving.
I mean, she is adorable.
Just want to say, she's adorable. Renee Michelle, what up, boo?
So, Renee Young, I'm sorry.
Oh, Renee Young, Renee Young, my bad. Renee Young, you too, even though you were going out with my friends. Yeah,
so, when we talked about the name Redemption, a guy that came up in my mind was TJ Marconi. He's looking, he talked about it with us. JAP is the place that he wants to make an impact. He's been craving for opportunities. You gave him opportunities already. 2 matches, both times unsuccessful. Now you put him in a fatal 4-way. I feel like in a way this is his redemption almost. He has to. He's become the public enemy. He shredded the boot party persona that made him so popular. You're putting him in the ring with Jake Parnell, who literally cut his lip in half. And still going to participate in this match. Mike Orlando, who's pretty much unstoppable. Everywhere he goes, he just gets another championship belt. I actually call him Marquis Mike Orlando because every time I see him, he's just in a main event match. And then Papa Don, the Greek god. I mean, is that a fair statement that this might be TJ Marconi's redemption?
When putting this match together for Jake Parnell and TJ Marconi, it was labeled "Do or Die."
Okay.
Simply because they've been given on the last few shows opportunities. I personally like both guys. I like both talents. I think they're very hardworking, very smart, very talented. Well, maybe not smart with Jake Parnell having his lip ripped open the way it was, but I still love you, Jake. But the fact that he's still, like you said, gonna wrestle with stitches going up and down his face, and he's one of those guys, he just wants a chance. When he came out to Worldwide, he drove to do a Worldwide taping. You know what I mean? He wanted to have the opportunity. He said it. He's like, I need to be seen in bigger places, and JP is the first start. All right, cool. I have no problem with that. He did great in the Best of Light Heavyweights. Yeah. Did some cool stuff.
Killed it with Anthony Gangone.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, Gangone is special. I hate to sound like a mark for him, but he really is a special talent. But he really did have a great match with Gangone on Worldwide, and it was one of the top 2 matches because I want to say 3, but in reality it was that match and TJ and Kyle the Beast on the Worldwide tapings that stole it for me. So, but there was a couple others that were really good, but that was one of the best that night. But Jake Parnell, he's got a lot of heart. He's a road warrior legit. He drives all across the country with his boys, and they go wherever whoever's going to take them. You know what I mean? TJ Marconi, like I said, he's somebody that I feel like he's not getting enough burn because, for whatever reason. But there is no real reason why he shouldn't be getting any burn. He's 6'6", 200. I think he said 285 or 290. I don't remember. You know what I mean? If you ever shake his hand, it's like holding onto a catcher's mitt. You know what I mean? It's huge.
Yeah.
And then he's got like a size 15 boot to put on there. You know what I mean? So everything about him is big. And for whatever reason, he's not getting those opportunities. This is one of those things where, if he doesn't come through, might be his last shot for a little while. Mike Orlando, like you said, every week I see him with a brand new belt.
Yeah.
I mean, he just went down to Florida, just won another belt. He went to Hazleton, he won another belt. You know what I mean? Like, he's winning belts everywhere he goes.
He's unstoppable.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny? Like, I remember I want to say it was like 2 years ago. I remember hearing about him. I was like, he's got a nice look, big size, you know what I mean? Give him a little bit more seasoning. And look, with a little bit more seasoning, he's destroying it. Not even with my help. He's just, doing his thing, Very smart, ambitious wrestler. Got a great look. He's got a great thing going on, This is one where it's not do or die for him. But this is one where if he wins, he could be looking at a number one contendership match for the heavyweight title. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I mean, look at what all the stuff that he's doing. You can't if we're gonna do 4 shows a year, you can't waste time.
Yeah.
You gotta strike while the iron's hot. You know what I mean? And it's definitely one of those deals for him.
Yeah.
But then you throw in Papa Don. What did I say before about experience? Experience always beats youth. And I always feel like Papa Don, not only does he have the experience, but he's one of those guys that for so long has been snubbed by TV. He should have been signed to a company a long time ago, to a TV company, whether it was Ring of Honor or Lucha Underground or TNA, whatever. He should have been on them, at least for a year. You know what I mean? Whether, people don't like him, his personality, his attitude, that has nothing to do with it. He's a great talent in the ring. Yeah. He's one of my best singles matches ever was against Papa Don 2 years ago, last year, whatever it was. You know what I mean? Everything that I've ever seen Papa Don do in the ring, it's 100% all out, knocks it out the park every single time. And he's been having these great matches in California, in the Carolinas. He's been going all over the country. For whatever reason, people are still sleeping on Papa Don. Yeah. You look at him, he's called the Greek God for a reason. Yeah. It isn't because he looks like Steve Mack. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a Greek God. And he has the mentality of one. I think he's somebody that, again, the same way with Mike Orlando, if he wins, you could be looking at a number one contendership match on the next show because he's that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's somebody that would give Jeez a really hard time. I don't know if Jeez would be able to, because he's got a cut-up body, just as strong as Jeez, if not stronger. You know what I mean? And just as wily of a veteran as Jeez. So if anybody has a shot, it could be Papa Don.
And Papa Don, he's great, but according to Mike Orlando, he doesn't know how to shoot a promo video on his cell phone. He can't hold it the right way.
Nobody said wrestlers were geniuses. Right? When someone told me that, I thought they were talking about how it sounded like he was in his shower cutting a promo. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, though, like, that's one of those things where you could joke about it and say it. Yeah. But when he slaps you in the face, you could still be, you know what I'm saying? If you're Mike Orlando, you catch that slap to the face, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Mike Orlando just got a promo.
He's awesome. Everything about him is just awesome.
Who else can really do it? EC Negro. I love his promos. EC Negro, his promos are just off the chain.
I listen, you guys know I've always told to you how it really is with me. He's somebody that I didn't really like for a long time out of the ring. And it's not until recently that, like, I don't want to say he's grown on me, but I see him getting better and doing better things. Yeah. His promo, though, I've always said it, no matter what I felt about him personally, he's someone that had so much potential, especially as a great heel. Yeah. He's somebody that they used to throw rolls of toilet paper at him back in the day of JAP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't because, he told them, throw it at me. He was just cutting his promo. Now, mind you, Bandito Jr. was out there with him,
Bandito.
and Outcast Killers was out there with him. So those are likable guys. But then Negro comes out, and he was covered in an entire sea of toilet paper. You know what I mean? That tells you how much he knew how to draw. But it was always something that just kept him, and that's one of those things where...
Man, I miss those days.
They were fun days.
And B-Boy.
It was that whole era of JAP was a lot of fun. But especially for me, because I was commentating for a lot. I wanted to wrestle, but I had fun watching the guys do their work. But with EC Negro, it was one of those things where his maturity outside of the ring cost him a lot.
Right.
Immaturity is what I should say. But as he's gotten older, he's starting to handle himself better. And who knows, one day he might get a shot. But it really is one of those things where, like, I have to see him a bunch before I'm like, hey guys, let's bring in EC Negro. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'm just saying, he just cut it up. He's really good at that.
No, he is. He knows how to talk. He definitely knows how to talk.
Yeah, but, we got to touch on this match. Last time, coast to coast, man, Private Party, they killed it. They went literally coast to coast in that match. I mean, I don't think they missed any spot, that they could. And this time they got the Hooligans, so...
Private Party and the Hooligans have wrestled before. I believe it was for Game Changer.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a great match. I remember a lot of people were talking about the match. I've been a big fan of the Hooligans for a long time. I was the one that helped get them into JAP originally with Viking War Party.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just, ever since I saw them at one of Joel Maximo's shows in Brooklyn, I've been such a huge fan. And everything about them screams outlaw. When you see them, you know that these are country rednecks that the law does not apply to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for that, because when you know that that's how they really are, you can buy into them. I'm all about that believability with the characters that you see, because it's not really a character. It's an extension of you. That's what made the Hit Squad so great.
Yeah.
Dan Moff really is a loud mouth, but when he's Dan Moff, it's brought up to 20. You know what I mean? Like, he is the biggest loudmouth bully that you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Homicide. Why do people love Homicide? Because he's a crazy thug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know in reality you should probably fear Homicide, and I'm sure a lot of people do. But when you see him in the ring, you know he's not faking it. There's no acting. What you see is really how Homicide is. You know what I mean? And so, with the Hooligans, that's really how it is. And what's so funny? Private Party, that's how it is too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they really are young guys who like to go clubbing. If you look at Isaiah Cassidy's Instagram, he's always posting something at a club or some VIP spot. You know what I mean? Like,
he spotted Teddy Hart with that fur jacket.
yes, I love that picture of Teddy Hart. That's so great. I was like, yes, Teddy's their uncle. But what you see with both teams though is really what you get, and that believability is what sells me.
Yeah.
When you see these guys, it's an instant clash. You got rednecks versus club kids.
Total opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So, and the crazy thing is, the rednecks, just because they're rednecks, they could do flips too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They do one of the coolest double teams moves, anywhere where they do that turn corkscrew backflip. You know what I mean? That's one of the cool. I watched it one time, like 30 times in a row, trying to figure out how he rotates.
Really?
Because it's just like, oh my God, how does he do that? You know what I mean? But then you see Isaiah and Mark Quinn, and they're hitting the 630 and the Phoenix Splash and the Shooting Star Press. They're just as crazy, if not crazier, with their flips. So, it's going to be another one of those, and it's a constant theme. Experience versus youth.
Yeah.
What I liked about that matchup, you just touched on it, that reminds me of Necro Butcher and Brody Lee and the Briscoes versus LAX when they're two completely different styles, but they just work so well together. So that match, that was one of the matches I'm actually looking forward to seeing. The whole card for sure.
Thank you. I with that, I see the Hit Squad versus Special K from Ring of Honor back in the days. With Ring of Honor, everybody was like, oh, it's serious competition. This is the real shit. And they went all out. And then you saw these kids come out and they were all chilling, partying, having a good time, not being serious, come out against the Hit Squad, who was the face of Ring of Honor. And, a lot of the time, you see something like that, and you're like, these kids, they suck. The kids didn't suck. They were all talented. They were all really uber talented kids in the ring. They gave us a hard time in the ring. It wasn't easy. And then they had a guy like Joey Mercury, one of the greatest talents I've ever been in the ring with, bar none. Mm-hmm. And he took helm of the team, and it became a whole nother thing. And it just went from being, the annoying kids to, they became champions of Ring of Honor, and they went through their wars. They went through the Hit Squad, Low Key, Homicide. They went through everybody, Carnage Crew. They ended up being the top dogs for a time. That's how I feel like with Private Party. And like you said with the Rednecks, and that's how I feel about with the Hooligans. Mm-hmm. That mesh of styles, somehow it works. I don't know. I can't explain it. Yeah. But, hopefully their chemistry will be there that night, and they'll get a chance to show everybody what we're talking about.
I remember one time, it was the Viking War Party and the Hooligans, and one of the guys threw a chair, and I think it was the cameraman that knocked out the chair. I was like, oh my God, these guys. Whoops. And I mean, JP was notorious for going outside the barricades and wrestling in the stands. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, this is the one time I actually don't want to be near these guys because I might get hit with something. So I used to chase them around the rec center all the time. You could probably see me in some of the photos and the DVDs. I just love to just be in the circle of that.
It was
all the action.
It was like a rock concert.
That was the one time I was just like, I'm just gonna walk to the furthest part of the building, so I can still see it, but nowhere near it.
So there was one time where it was me and Havoc. Actually, it was the 1 anniversary show where Havoc and I won the tag team titles from. It wasn't the Hate Club, but it was Nick Gage and Necro Butcher, and who was in the other team? I'm having a hard time remembering everything because I'm getting old, and that's what happens when you get old. But it was Necro Butcher was in there, Brody Lee was in there, Nick Gage was in there, and I can't remember who the last guy was. But either which way, I'm going after Necro Butcher, and all of a sudden I see a chair being thrown at me, but not like how you would normally throw a chair. Yeah. He underhanded it so that while it was in midair, it closed flat and came at me straight with the top of the chair right in my stomach. And I was like, yo, who does that?
That's crazy.
That was some I remember people just using the trays from the vendors, and I was like, people would just throw each other into the vendors' tables and stuff like that. I mean,
great time.
If you bought a weapon, they would use it. I mean, it was such a. I just remember I loved being in that atmosphere. And
like I said, it was like a rock star event, a rock concert, because you just never knew what was going to happen.
And I felt like almost, the main event, they always came into the stands. I mean, I just remember.
Usually it was Homicide. That's why Homicide likes playing out there.
I remember Teddy Hart doing a flip and breaking the steel chair in half.
Were you there in Jersey City when it was Homicide, Eddie Kingston, and Teddy Hart? And somewhere in there, someone had a glass beer bottle, and Homicide broke it on the floor and wanted to stab Teddy Hart in the neck.
No, I'm glad I wasn't there for that. I don't want to see someone die.
That might have been the night we crossed the line, but Homicide had the bottle and followed Teddy back into the ring with the bottle in his hand.
I believe that. I definitely believe that.
Yeah, I remember those "fuck you, Teddy" chants.
Yes.
I mean, whenever he would no show one month and he'd come back and they say "fuck you, Teddy," and then at the end of the night they would just be clapping for him.
Loved him. That was the thing that I could not understand was the fans' love for Teddy Hart, because he was a maniac, legit. You know what I mean? But they would just absolutely berate him to the point where I was like, "Damn, I feel bad for the guy." You know what I mean? And then he would show up, and it was as if Jesus walked into the room and he was like, "Hey guys, what's up?" You know what I mean? Yeah. And everybody was like, "Oh yes!" Like it really was the weirdest shit.
I remember one time you guys had the Hart Dynasty there too, and I was like, "Man, like these guys are not going to survive with Teddy Hart just being, like, these guys. I feel bad for these guys because Teddy Hart's just
Hart's with him.
they're just gonna berate Teddy and then love him. Like this,
they love Teddy.
It's great. I got to see him and Bobby Wayward at Brace for Impact for WrestlePro. I mean, the guy still phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
saw him at
doesn't age.
At Game Changer when he wrestled Janela earlier in the year, and he looked like the same Teddy, just wild as ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way, it's good that he's still doing his thing. You just hope that he doesn't hurt himself or get anybody hurt in the process. You know what I mean? So
that was my dude growing up, man. That was one of my dudes. We gotta talk about this match, man. The Fatal 4-Way, the women, the brightest lights. Let's talk about this match. The names in here. You got Jessie Brooks, Bonesaw. You have Ruby Reyes, who this is the first time I'm going to be seeing her live. Maria Manic, and of course Diana Palazzo. I mean, how did this match come together, man? Because the last time we just talked about this earlier, man. The women's match was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, are these women? What's is there an incentive for these women too? Maybe like a women's championship down the road.
Well, so this is for the number one contendership.
Yeah.
This is the only problem that we're having right now.
Mm-hmm.
If we have the show, the date that we want to run in May,
mm-hmm.
Luffy will be in Europe.
Oh.
So we won't have. I mean, we have something planned, and trust me, if it comes off, it's gonna be nuts. You know what I mean? Whoever it is. But we wanted to have a number one contender, so that way when we got back to things, after the summer, we have a way to progress towards the anniversary show.
Yeah.
And I really am a huge fan of Diana Purrazzo, as is everybody.
Yeah,
she's a beast.
She's just one of the best, male or female, doesn't matter. She's one of the best technical wrestlers and just all out, just awesome human beings.
Last time I saw her, she was bleeding.
Yeah. She Sumi Sakai caught her with a knee, and she got caught under the eye. She still won.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She pulled it out.
And like this is gonna sound horrible, but how sexy was it when she had blood on her face and she's like, yeah. I know Fat Frank would have appreciated that. But she's a tough chick. She's beautiful. She's, like I said, just insanely talented and always getting better. And she's another one that she hangs out with people that are better. Mm-hmm. She's always improving. Every time I see her, from when she first started, that I first met her, she was good, but she still was kind of green. In that 3 years' time, she's become the most dominant force in pro wrestling today. Who else was wrestling for NXT, Impact, Ring of Honor?
Yeah,
all in the same week.
Yeah,
nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Nobody. Yeah, no guy, no girl, just her. You know what I mean? She's that talented.
She really is.
She did her thing in Japan. Hopefully she goes back. I know she was telling me she wanted to go. And if she does, I think she's going to be even deadlier. Yeah. Because, I mean, she wrestled with some of the best, most vicious strikers out there, and she handled her biz, Maria Manic now, she's somebody that is starting to catch a little buzz because she's a power lifter. Yeah. I've seen her take two guys. She gave one a German, and the other one that was taking the German had his partner in a high cross body position, and he fall away slam and a German all in the same motion. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's guys that can't do that. And here she is. She's throwing people around. Easy.
Yeah. And she has my respect. She got in the ring with Schlack.
She got destroyed by Schlack, but yeah, no.
Just the fact that she got in the ring, I wouldn't even get in the ring with him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's guys who are afraid of Schlack, and she went head on. Yeah. And, she got destroyed, but it wasn't an easy fight for Schlack because Schlack was beat up too. Yeah. She's definitely someone who I feel will gain the most out of this match because she's so inexperienced. She's going to be in there with three killers. Jessie Brooks. If you haven't seen Jessie Brooks, you've probably heard her hit people. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the back of a building and I've heard her give forearms and chops to people. And I'm like, damn, that sounded rough. You know what I mean? And this come from me, see back from the Hit Squad. You know what I mean? So she is somebody who that power just comes from deep. That's one of those, like, she reaches in, she pulls it out, and when it hits, you know. And she's been destroying people everywhere she goes. She's another one. She's been up and down the East Coast. Pretty sure she went out, you know, Florida a few times, West Coast, stuff like that. You know, she's like I said, she's just someone that just destroys people. You know, she's like Ivan Drago of the women's division. You know, I must break you. You know, but here's the other thing. Then you have Ruby Reyes, who is making her East Coast debut. I first saw Ruby Reyes about 3 years ago. I saw her and another girl who's making her name for herself, Kiko, from California, the Fallen Flower. They had a street fight that I was just like, what the F? You know what I mean? Like, they were putting it on each other. And I reached out to both of them, gave them a little bit of advice, and I stayed in contact with them throughout the years. Kikyo right now, she's about to go do a tour of Japan. She's going to be under the tutelage of Bull Nakano and Aja Kong. Yeah, like, she's making waves. Insane. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, she was living out in the West Coast. She moved over to Florida, and she's been wrestling all over Shine and, like, place AAW, I think it is, or one of the places in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, she's been doing the whole thing, and Ruby Reyes is doing the same thing. She's been destroying it everywhere she goes. Louisiana for Luke Hawk's Federation Wildcat. She's been in Florida. She's been in Chicago. She's been in Portland, Oregon. I mean, she's been everywhere. Vegas, LA. She's one of those. She trains with B-Boy. She's one of B-Boy's homies. You know what I'm saying? So, if you know anything about B-Boy, I mean, she trains with him. You know. Yeah. So, I've been seeing her. If you can look for clips, she wrestled this guy. What's his name? Drunk Ronald McDonald or something like that.
Really
awesome gimmick, but like. They had a bar fight, a legit, you know, they had a match in a bar, and they just brutalized each other. And Ruby Reyes, she's not a little girl by any means, but, like, she destroyed a full-grown man. And when I asked her about it, I was like, dude, the match looks sick. What? She's like, yeah, I'm feeling it still, but, like, he's feeling it too. And I was like, see, that's what's up. I like that. You know what I mean? So, like, I've been wanting to get her on the East Coast for a long time because I feel like she's somebody that, you know, she can gain a lot from being seen here, but she's someone that adds to your roster because of her toughness. You know, that's one thing about all these girls. No matter what, I'm not bringing in, you know, girls who might hesitate. I'm bringing girls who are going to swing for the fence.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that for sure last show.
Dude, how great was it when Penelope gave that boot to Gabby while she was sitting down? Gabby Ortiz. Yeah. She's sitting down in the chair outside. And Penelope gave her such a Yakuza kick. I was so proud. Yeah.
I mean, even when you went to the JP Worldwide tapings, you had Tara Calloway, you know, Kate. I'm like, these women, Ali Rex, right? I mean, these are not, you know, you
before
said
Worldwide. Have you ever heard of Ali Rex?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, I saw her before. Yeah.
No, but like, I mean, since Worldwide, she's gone to Florida. She's gone to all these other places, and she's winning titles.
Yeah.
Blowing up. I'm not saying that it was because of Worldwide. I'm just saying we got to her before everybody else did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my goal, is to find these people before they make a name for themselves and give them that chance to shine on this side, because they might not be around ever again. You know what I mean?
We saw her. She was managing the Amazing Graysons, and who are a phenomenal tag team.
Yeah, eventually they're going to be seen in JAP. I just haven't had the right opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, she was injured. She had the knee injury. She was managing them, and I was like, damn, this. We remember we said it like this. She's like this. I mean, the whole team was just awesome. You know, what a team. So, you know,
if you got to pick, who are you picking to win that one?
Me. I'm gonna enjoy that match.
Me, because I'm watching the match. See, my heart wants to go with Deanna, but
I feel like Deanna's the easy pick.
Yeah,
if you're just looking at it, like Deanna wins.
But honestly, between Jesse Brooks and Ruby Reyes, that's going to be the hardest hitting match of the night. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
Because Ruby Reyes is someone that she likes to get hit first. And when she does, she answers back.
Yeah.
Jesse Brooks likes to get hit first. And when she does, she answers back. So I feel the exchange there is going to be something that we're all going to be just mesmerized by. But then you have Maria Manic,
Yeah, she might just capitalize on the whole
exactly.
thing. So,
and she's strong enough to knock somebody out with one punch.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's really hard. Actually, it's really not that easy for Deanna to win this match. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, because she doesn't have that power like they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have brute strength.
Yeah.
Like, I hope I don't like make them sound like guys, but like that's the only way I can really describe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just brute physical strength between the three girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Deanna's the small, faster one of the four. The only thing that she really has going for her is she's got that experience. And again, experience this time is experience versus power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you have to put yourself in the situation of all four. And like I said, it's hard to pick. I'm going to go with Ruby Reyes because she's making her debut, and I've been following her career for the last 3 years.
So capitalize.
Exactly. And I really think between her and Jessie Brooks, because Jessie Brooks is another one that she feels like, she's like Black G's in a way.
Yeah.
Very underrated by a lot of people when she feels like she's way better than a lot of people. So I feel like she might take the opportunity herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's
But
like
I'm gonna go Ruby Reyes.
you got to get through these three girls, the other three girls, and then you got Lufisto waiting for you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, exactly. Is there really a winner in this match?
Exactly.
To capitalize on what you said, man, the women's division in JP is always
around the country, around the world.
Yeah.
Women's wrestling in general, yeah.
But, even in the past, has always been stacked, and the fact that it continues to still be one of the shining parts of this show is still incredible to me.
Well, I also want to have it where, because a lot of times if you see a women's match, it's a throwaway match on a show, on an independent show. WWE is a different game. You can't really compare it to the indies with WWE, and same thing with Impact. Ring of Honor is taking it more serious with the Women of Honor. But, like I said, look at Sarah Del Rey. Look at Kimberly. Alicia.
Yeah,
We've always had girls that they're not going to freak out if they, if the train goes off the tracks. They're going to pull it back together and drive it straight and knock it out the park. You know what I mean? Like, they just, it's just one of those things where we've always been fortunate enough to find females like that.
I remember they had a double header. It was a Diamond Division match, and then after that was the men's show, and I sweated my balls off. But that women's show, man, oh my God.
Was that the one in Bayonne?
No, it was the one in Rawway.
Oh, Rawway. Okay.
And it was so hot. I went
with but didn't Sarah Del Rey wrestle Awesome Kong?
Yeah, Awesome Kong. Yeah.
Yes.
And I must have drank that vendor in the front. All his soda, all his tea, all that. Oh man, I was in the bathroom for the next day just being. It was so hot, but I remember I walked out of that show. I was like, damn, these women just killed it. And then I was like, oh man, I got a JP show right after this.
God, there's a regular show after. If you ever want to find a match that's really good from Bayonne, look up Lufisto versus ODB.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And I'd been a fan of
that.
Lufisto.
Sounds like it's crazy.
Let me just tell you right now, ODB is legit one of the craziest, toughest individuals that I've ever. And I'm not just saying that, because that she's ODB.
Mm-hmm.
How she is in the ring is how she is outside the ring most of the time. So, like, we were doing a promo, and in the ring, we were introducing all the girls, right? And ODB was the last one. So, she, I knew her from a couple other shows that we'd done before or whatever. So, she was like, here, back, you want to try some of my flask? And I'm thinking there's nothing in it.
Yeah.
And I go to take it, and my throat is on fire with whatever the hell concoction she had in there. I was like, "Wah!" And she's like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I was like, what? Why? Why would you do that to me?
Oh, man.
But they beat the hell out of each other. I think if you go on the on-demand, JP on-demand, I think the show is on there. It's, like I said, I know it's from Bayonne. And it was like the first women's division show that we had. And it was it was the main event. It was such an awesome match.
Yeah, those shows were awesome.
Got some tough women, but not to let anyone think Lufisto won't be busy that night, because this is like fantasy, like you creating your own pay-per-view mixed tag street fight. Lufisto, Caldabees versus Slack and K-Trade. Now, I'm interested in this like, is this just like no holds barred? Like the dudes could attack the girls.
It's a street
It's
fight.
like whatever, just anything
It's a
goes.
Street fight. Do you honestly think that Lufisto's going to be the one? Schlack, please don't hit me.
No.
She gonna blast him in the face. You know what I'm saying? And then if it's a street fight, you know she's gonna have something in her hand.
Yeah.
You know. But this is all stemming off the last show, Uprising, in that Kyle, his match, he had a tough match. He right before his match, Lufisto defeats Katrin. Schlack and Bear Bronson come out. They're going to go set up to attack Lufisto. Kyle makes a save. Didn't like that. They go after Kyle after he loses his match to Riddle.
Yeah.
And Lufisto tries to come and make the save with a chair. And they handle Lufisto.
Yeah.
So it was at that point that we were like, well, you know what? Why don't we have a mixed tag? And why don't we make it a street fight? Because we know all 4 individuals are crazy enough to handle it.
Yeah.
And they're going to make something of this. Like, this is something that's personal. There's a personal feud going on between Kyle and Schlack. Mm-hmm. But you also have Katrin, who feels like she should have won the title. And instead, Lufisto won the title. She's pissed off. Lufisto's pissed off that she got powerbombed by Bear Bronson. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things that are going on that they all hate each other. So why not just throw them in there?
Tensions are definitely rising for that one. And then
I flirted with the idea of fans bring weapons.
Oh my god!
But I was like, I don't think the people were all able to do that as much.
And you got to think, we were just talking about the Fatal 4-Way for the women's. This might be the best time for them to get a championship match because Lufisto, how do you even know how she's going to come out of this match?
Exactly. She might not make it.
She might not even be able to defend the title.
So, anything is possible.
Yeah.
The only thing that I expect from this match is mayhem.
Yeah.
Schlack, he's got a lot of things going on. He lost his big match to Elgin. Mm-hmm. I know he told me personally he was a little embarrassed about losing that match because he knew that was his opportunity.
Yeah.
He really wanted to make something out of it. And right now, Kyle, who lost his match, is making an opportunity out of it, And I'm pretty sure that's something that bothers Schlack. Schlack is making his name all over the East Coast, all over the world, because in Mexico as a champion too for DTU.
Yeah.
But, this is something where I feel like Schlack is just seeing the target as being Kyle the Beast because he knows that Kyle's going to be the future of the biz. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when you know that you could take someone out like that, you do it. Yeah. And he's got his own beast in Bear Bronson.
Yeah.
That Bear Bronson, he's been destroying life everywhere he goes. Yeah. He did.
He destroyed Fallon, Mario Bokara.
Yeah.
WrestlePro. I mean, those guys were seen on Impact. Mm-hmm. I mean, no pun intended. He made an impact. Yeah. With Beefcake.
If you watch his stuff at Creator Pro, he's been killing everybody at Creator Pro.
So there's also another match that's going to happen. A match that I tried to save to the end. Homicide, Sami Callihan. I mean, these guys. I grew up watching these guys at the rec center. I mean, this match can be brutal. I mean, you saw what he did, Sami Callihan, with the baseball bat. Mm-hmm. To Teddy Edwards and Homicide. His history speaks on its own. How pumped are you for this match? And I mean, one of these guys might not walk away.
Well, see, this is the thing. Right now, those two guys were in the middle of a heavy feud on TV. And when you're in the middle of a heavy feud on TV, what ends up happening is real feelings develop. Now, I'm pretty sure Homicide doesn't hate Sami Callihan. But at the same time, I know Homicide doesn't like Sami Callihan. And that's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I know that with Sami Callihan, he feels like the spot that Homicide's been occupying is now his spot. And then when I say that, I mean he has his own group of guys, OVE and Desmond and Zach, and all the other guys that are staying at that house in Ohio with him, that are training with him. Homicide had the Hit Squad and everybody from the Doghouse that trained with him. Mm-hmm. The difference is 15 years apart.
Yeah.
And I know that for Sami, once he got released by the WWE, his motivation was to show the world that the WWE screwed up. And it continues to this day.
Yeah.
You look at him, everything he does has a meaning and a purpose. And he's not stopping for anybody. Mm-hmm. With Homicide, I really feel that even though Homicide sees his own mortality coming, because he's getting higher up in age, his body's starting to be banged up, Homicide is just as motivated now to show everyone that he's not the old man that people think he is or could be. I think with this match, though, I think Homicide wants to show Sammy a lesson or two. And I don't mean, when I say a lesson, I don't mean that he's going to smash him in the head with a bat. You know what I mean? I think he wants to stretch him. And I think that he wants to pop out a ligament and say, hey, look, this is what happens when you get hurt. Can you keep going? Because I did. Because when Homicide blew out his shoulder, he got signed to TNA. He still kept going with his shoulder taped up and hanging off by a thread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he still did it. So now I think Homicide wants to show that lesson to Sami Callihan. You want to be me? Do what I did. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? However, I do know Homicide.
Yeah.
And all it takes is someone to pull the trigger. If someone pulls the trigger, this match is going to leave the Rahway Rec Center and end up on 1-9. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that this match could be a crazy brawl, or it could be a technical masterpiece because they're both great technical wrestlers. Sammy, don't let Sammy fool you. We all know that as hard hitting as he is, he's a great technician.
Yeah.
He learned his craft. He spent 2 years in WWE system learning.
Yeah.
He's been all over the world, well traveled. He knows his stuff. So this is one of those things where you want to say Homicide could win, but it really could be Sammy or Homicide. There's no, it's who wants it more. Who's going to touch that line at the last second and get the 3 count?
Last time I saw him at JP against Del Rio, I mean, the limit was pushed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And that was a great match, too. Totally forgot about that until you mentioned it. That was such a great match.
So you're going to be, you and Dan Moff, the Hit Squad, are going to be there. I mean, you guys going to wrestle, or are you guys going to beat somebody up? I mean,
so we have our gear.
Always ready, right?
All right. So this is another one. We had a match set, and the guys pulled out. And it sucked because we were really counting on that match to happen. Yeah. But it's not something that's going to be the end of the world. Yeah. We're going to definitely do something that night. As to what, I'm not really sure.
Me and Andrew are available.
You need a manager or something?
You need
I don't want to. I don't
want
to be the opposite side. I don't want to be the opposite. I'm walking into the ring.
Before you cross that line,
I love you, man.
I've had grown men say when they hear Pump Pump play before we even come out that they wanted to piss themselves because it's so intimidating as they're standing in the ring and they hear Pump Pump.
Maybe I'm just crazy, but I would just
be like, crazy, man.
I would just love yo.
If you're gonna have one match, I guess.
Yeah, the Hit they threw me through the wall. I would love that. I would love to be able to tell that story. The Hit Squad threw me through the wall.
If you need like a manager or something, I'm free. I'll want you. I want to be on your side.
It's an option, man. It's an option.
I don't know about you, man, but I want to live to see tomorrow. So.
Like I said, we were supposed to have somebody, and then it didn't go through, and then we kind of left it open because we're gonna do something, but as to what,
I'll wear a repeat offender shirt. I mean, I'm free.
I really, again, going back to what I was talking about before, I really want for this to lead into, and hopefully we have the May date on lock by the time we have the show, and we can have some stuff announced and put out there. I would love to have a Hit Squad match. I mean, look, we announced it recently that we're going to have our last match in New York the night before for Create or Die. We're going to wrestle our rivals, EYFBO, two guys that you guys know I love almost as much as any family member. But when we get in there with them, it's always a brutal war. And being that this is going to be our last match in New York, we're not going to go looking to, hey, here's the torch, guys. No, fuck that shit. It's going to be us beating the shit out of them one last time in New York to show them why we've been holding it down for the last 20 years as the kings of New York in tag team wrestling.
Yeah, Pat just texted me. He wants to team with you. So
Down, I'll take that.
Damn it, Pat, you're missed.
So he was like, "Yeah, I'm down for sure." So
Every time I come, Pat always asks me my one porn question. So
Oh man, yeah. That's funny.
man, so the doors open at 6:30. The show is JAP Redemption. It's at the Rawway Rec Center.
everything is on social media: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's at JAP Wrestling. And then the website for tickets and information is japw.net. Also, you can check out our on-demand site through japw.net. There's a few shows on there. I was watching some the other day, and I was just like, God, why did I do some of this stuff that I did? You know what I mean? But, you can check out some of the JP history, and they're adding more. It's just a matter of transferring the footage over to digital. Yeah. That takes a while. Yeah. If you're going to come, you already know what the deal is. If you're on the fence, I mean, if this podcast episode didn't sell you guys, you're just not a fan of wrestling because you're getting a mix of everything. You're getting technical, you're getting surprises, you're getting street fights, you're getting violence, you're getting TV stars, you're getting unknowns, you're getting females, you're getting people you haven't seen for a while, you're getting Hall of Famers. You're getting it all. The only thing you're not getting is like a WWE, a Tony Atlas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we don't need that. Yeah. We have Homicide.
Yeah.
You're getting Derek's last day on Earth because
he wants wrestling. But
he's my dad. He's not gonna hurt me.
Yeah, you think so?
Tell that to my daughter. But I really want.
You take it harder on your friends, right?
Huh?
You take it harder on your friends.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, there's been times Homicide knocked my ear loose.
Oh my
I was
goodness!
just like, please God, why did that happen? But you really want to give the fans a little mix of everything, and that's what we tried to do with this show. The surprise, if it comes through, I think a lot of people are going to pop for it huge.
Nice.
I really think people are going to talk about Sammy and Homicide because, in talking to Homicide, he's somebody that he always tells me what his motivation is going into something, and 9 times out of 10, when he says something, he does it. Arcadian Desmond, I think, is going to be, the next standout match. The girls' 4-way is going to be a strong style. Just incredible female match. Hopefully, if all things go correct, I hope people say it reminds them of 1990s All Japan women's wrestling. That style was just so physical and brutal, but it was beautiful. Marconi and Orlando and Parnell and why am I lost in the fourth guy? Marconi or
Papadon.
Yeah,
see?
Yeah, man.
He's gonna kill me because I forgot about him. Damn it! I love you, Papadon.
I was listening.
But see, here's the thing: that match, we talked about it. There's potential in that match to steal the show.
Yeah.
There's potential with Jigsaw, Anthony Bennett, and Steve Scott to steal the show. And Private Party and the Hooligans. You can't really look at this lineup and be like, that's going to be the shitty match of the show.
Yeah.
There is none. Schlack and Catron against KTB and LuFisto. That's going to be nuts. Geez, who the hell knows? You know what I mean? But either which way, that every match they're going to go all out because that's just what people want to wrestle for JAP.
Yeah.
You get a lot of guys that hit me up that want to wrestle for JAP because growing up, that was the place to be.
Yeah.
Now that they're all wrestlers, they all want to be here. So my thing is, if you're going to get the opportunity, make the most of it because you never know when you're going to have another shot. So.
And then plus, people want to see you. You're going to be at Synergy Wrestling on March 24th at the Manville, whatever it is.
VFW, right?
Yeah,
VFW,
something like that. Yeah. So
Brandon Kirk coming for you, young blood.
Now I feel like you just put the stamp of approval on Synergy. Not that they didn't have it before.
No, but something. Yeah, the people running Synergy have been doing a lot to make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why you had an Arcadia defending his title there because, again, I'm all about keeping with what Frank started. Fat Frank wanted to give everybody an opportunity.
Yeah.
why not? Why
Yeah.
can't we have opportunities?
Yeah.
You know, in a world where it's all about who you know, it's not about what your talent is anymore. You know what I mean? Unless your talent is bullshitting.
Yeah.
But it really is who you know. It's nepotism in the worst way. In pro wrestling, in politics, whatever it is. Why can't we have people getting an opportunity based off their talent?
Yeah, some equal footing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you did it for us. You gave us a equal footing. So
I mean, but that's the thing. I don't know that you guys are going to knock it out the park the way you've been.
Yeah.
I like talking to you guys. I enjoy having conversation with you guys.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I want other people to hear you and to go on your show? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I want you to do the JP podcast? Because I enjoy talking. I enjoy listening to you guys. When I'm here, it's not doing an interview. We're just talking. We're just bullshitting. You know what I mean? And when you feel like that about anybody, you want to have more conversations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel with you guys from day one. You guys have always welcomed me in, made me feel comfortable. So why wouldn't I try to help you guys be a bigger entity in this business? You know what I mean?
Definitely. You got 10% coming.
all right. For us, we've been Wrestling IQ 101. That's been Steve Mack. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at
Uncle
Wrestling
Mac.
IQ 101.
Steve Mack DHS on everything else
So-
on social media.
If you like him, subscribe to him. If you like us, hit that subscribe button.
Renee
And,
Michelle, I love you still, even though we were talking about Renee Young. But Renee Michelle, you was up. You was up.
and we'll see you guys soon. So
Real quick before we go, I just want to say thank you no matter what. You guys have been awesome. You supported us big time and supported me. And I'm very happy and humbled by you guys, shouting me out and always, getting me on wherever you can. And I also want to thank the fans that have come out to JAP for the last 20 years, guys like yourselves who have been coming through, even when the lineup wasn't the strongest, it was the weakest looking lineup, but we still went all out because you guys came. And, I want to thank everybody who's been a part of JAP in their history. And just want to say a quick shout out to Morton Dom, Montrom, and Mark Zabu, the guys who've been, keeping this train running. Because without them, one person can't do it on his own. And Jeff Shapiro, the guy who pretty much is JAP now, he's the guy that's been running the show since day one with Frank. And, without him giving me the opportunity, I wouldn't be here telling you about our next show. I just, I'm always very humble and appreciative of all the stuff that I'm given because in reality, we're just people. We're not nothing special.
It's true.
I like to jump off the top rope and, do stupid things. But, also, I just want to say what's up to my people all over on Facebook who hit me up, my red snowflakes, my aliens, my black hearts, all my people, all my little personal private shout outs. I just want to say what's up to y'all.
thank you.
And Gianna, you better be in bed, Gianna.
Thanks again, Monster Mac. It's always a
Definitely
pleasure, man.
appreciate it.
You always have a home
Definitely
here.
Thank you very
And,
much. I appreciate it so much.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace. You have just listened to the Wrestling IQ 101 podcast, powered by B Plus Player Radio.
One more for the good guy.